What if I told you that you could eat anything that you wanted to and never have to worry about gaining weight? If you'd like to know how, then stick around until the end of this video. Because there are 4 things that you need to know. And it's not just one thing, it's 4 steps. 4 steps that you are going to have to do in order to get to that place where you can eat anything that you want and not gain weight. If you don't know me already, I am a fat guy in a skinny world who helps other people lose weight and keep it off. And so let's get into these 4 steps. The first thing that you need to know is what's the difference between fat and obese. A lot of people use these 2 words interchangeably, but in fact, they mean different things. Fat means you have excess body fat compared to someone who's lean. Obese means that you have excess body fat compared to someone who's average. And here's why that's important. The reason that that's important is because when you fall into the category of being obese, meaning you have excess body fat compared to someone who's average, you have a higher risk of getting sick from having that extra body fat. You're at a higher risk of dying from having that excess body fat. And that has nothing to do with the number on the scale. So yes, we should care about the number on the scale, but not for the reason that most people think. So one reason that someone who is overweight or obese dies prematurely is because their heart explodes from the pressure of carrying the weight around. One way that they die is from cancer and diabetes. People who carry excess body fat are more likely to get cancer and diabetes, which kills them. Not that their heart gives out from the stress of carrying the extra weight. And so when we decide to lose weight, too often we focus on the wrong thing. We focus on losing body weight instead of focusing on reducing body fat. And that makes a big difference because the goal should be to step on the scale and see a lower number, because that number doesn't actually tell us anything about our health. The goal should be to reduce the amount of body fat we have on our bodies because that directly correlates to how long we gonna live. So the first step is to figure out what your body fat percentage is. And you can do this by going online and searching for a body fat calculator. And all you need to do is enter in your measurements. So you need to know your height, your weight, and your age. And then the calculator will tell you what your body fat percentage is. The second step is to set a goal for what your body fat percentage should be. And you can do this by again searching online for healthy body fat range for men and women. And then you'll see this chart. And what you need to do is find your height. So if you're anywhere between 5 foot and 5'7", look down and see where you land. For me, I'm 6 feet tall, so I look over here and I'm looking for a male. And this says my body fat percentage should be between 14 and 18%. Now, it's really important that you understand something about body fat percentages. These charts only work for people who are within what we consider the normal weight range. What this chart doesn't do a good job of showing is people who are overweight or obese. In general, you want your body fat percentage to be below 25% if you're a man and below 35% if you're a woman. But it is always better to err on the side of caution and try to go even lower than that. So now that you know where you are and you know where you want to be, the next step is to figure out how far away you are from reaching that goal. And you can do this by taking your current body fat percentage and subtracting it from your goal body fat percentage. Let us say that your goal body fat percentage was 20% and your current body fat percentage was 30%. You would have 10% of body fat to lose. Now here's the hard truth. The harder it is for you to lose body fat, the more body fat you have to lose. And so if you have a lot of body fat to lose, you might feel like you're doing everything right, and you're still not losing weight. That's probably because you have a lot of body fat to lose. So don't give up, just keep going and you'll eventually reach your goals. Step 3 is to create a plan to help you reduce your body fat percentage. And you can do this by tracking the number of calories that you eat every day. Now, you can track this manually by writing down everything that you eat and drinking in a day. Or you can download an app like MyFitnessPal, which does it automatically for you. Now, I want you to understand something really important about this step. Tracking your calories doesn't have to be forever. You only need to track your calories until you can confidently make food choices without relying on the app or a journal. So if you've been eating the same foods every day for weeks or months, you should be able to tell how many calories those meals are without having to track them anymore. And if you're thinking, well, why don't you just eat less calories per day? Here's the fourth step, which is to realize that this process is not about restricting calories or cutting calories. This is about making better food choices. So instead of focusing on how many calories you eat, you want to focus on what you're eating. And you can do this by following these 3 simple rules. Rule No. 1. You want to eat as much protein as possible because protein helps you feel full for the amount of calories that you consume. Rule No. 2 is you want to eat as little processed food as possible. Processed food has been linked to obesity, so the less processed food you eat, the better. And Rule No. 3 is to eat as much fiber as possible. Fiber helps you feel full, which also has been shown to reduce the number of calories that you eat. Now, you may be wondering, doesn't fiber have calories? And the answer is yes, it does. But the type of calories that fiber provides aren't considered to be empty calories. Empty calories are things like soda and chips and candy. They don't fill you up and they don't have a lot of nutritional value. The calories that come from fiber, though, they fill you up and they have a ton of health benefits, including helping you lose weight. So now that you have these 4 steps, it's time to put them into action. First, you need to find out what your body fat percentage is and where you want it to be. Then you need to figure out how far away you are from reaching that goal by calculating the difference between your current body fat percentage and your goal body fat percentage. Then you need to create a plan to help you reach that goal by tracking your calories. And finally, you need to follow the 3 rules that I talked about earlier, which is to eat as much protein as possible, as little processed food as possible, and as much fiber as possible. And if you follow these steps, then you will reach your goal body fat percentage, at which point you can start eating whatever you want and not gain any weight. Because the key to losing weight is not about restricting yourself and being miserable. It's about improving your relationship with food. It's about feeling good about the choices that you make and feeling confident in those choices. And that's what these steps are going to help you do. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. And if you're ready to take the guesswork out of losing weight, click the link below. To learn more, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.